Hi, welcome to the Wisdom of Your Soul. I'm Janice Mary, your host, and I'm so glad you're back with us. This YouTube channel is to help us all connect to the soul energy that is filled with nothing but love and gratitude, and is such a nice place to be, out of the ego mind and into an energy that is unconditional, loving, kind, and has many different words to say to you than the ego mind does. So I'm glad you're back, and today we're going to continue with the magic. We're up to exercise number 9, so that's really going to be fun. So we're going to do that. And we're also going to focus on, again, our thoughts and the ego, and how it really does affect our lives, and how it colors our day. So it's really important for us to really become extremely aware of what's happening so that we can make other choices. If we don't know what's happening, if we think that our thoughts and how we feel is just the result of our life, then it puts us in a position of being a little bit more of a victim of our life instead of being in control of our lives and creating our lives. And when you go into the soul energy, the soul will absolutely tell you that you are creating your life, and your life is beautiful and magical every second of every day. And it's just really how we perceive it that takes away from all the beautiful moments that we have. Our soul energy will show us that, when we do, kind of linger in the past and get stuck in the past, that really does infect our present. And when we go too far into the future, we are so fearful, we're not ready for the future, and that infects the present with fear. So we don't want to do that. We want to really become just aware of where our mind is traveling. And we want our mind to be traveling to the present, not to the past and not to the future. And easier said than done. This is not an easy task. And that's why I feel like when you have the overall goal to connect to your soul, that can help you really override the ego a little bit. And that can really give you the knowledge and the support that you need in order to not believe the ego. I think the biggest challenge for most of my clients is that they really do believe their thoughts. They really do believe, how they feel, and they believe what society says to us, and they take it from there. I had a client the other day, and she was extremely upset at herself because she ate Domino's pizza. And we've all been there, where we're trying to eat healthy and clean, and we're trying to do the best for our bodies. And all of a sudden we notice that we are ordering Domino's pizza. Of course the soul would be, when I, go into that soul energy, the soul is like, of course, enjoy that Domino's pizza. It's not a big deal. Enjoy it. And when you feel that, you can enjoy the Domino's pizza. But for most people, the world teaches us that there are good foods and there are bad foods. And we should stay away from the bad foods and only eat the good foods. And if you eat a bad food, you are then a bad person. And not only are you a bad person, you're destroying your body. All very harsh. All extremely harsh. So one action of eating Domino's pizza could linger on within the body and in the mind for days and days. Like with my client, she said it killed her whole weekend because she was just focused on, feeling bad and beating herself up for eating the pizza, and then feeling sick for eating the pizza, and on. And all it really was a slice of pizza, a couple of slices of pizza. So when I challenged her and just said, well, listen, if you didn't have these thoughts about pizza, if we didn't think, pizza was bad for us, if, say, we thought pizza was like salad, and pizza is absolutely a fine food to eat. So you didn't have those thoughts going through your mind at all. How would your weekend have been? And she just, stopped for a second and laughed and said, well, I would have just had my weekend. I would have done what I wanted to do without feeling so badly about myself. And really, that is the key, is to challenge our thoughts enough so that we can realize we're not wrong for thinking what we're thinking. It's understandable why we think what we think, because our society, what it teaches us and tells us. It's just that we want to move past it. We don't want to stay in that because it's hurtful, it's painful, and it really is a very limited way to live. And, when you move out of the ego, you will realize that there is this energy that lives within you that is much wiser and, really has other things to say to you, and is comforting and won't judge you the way we judge ourselves. So eating a slice of pizza becomes not a big deal. So anytime you're in your day and a thought has you, and you start to feel it kind of taking over with your thoughts, and then other feelings, and then other thoughts. We all know how that feels. It can kind of just take over. So when that starts happening to you, just kind of say to yourself, okay, so I feel like a bad person because I ate pizza. So could we at least do the other side to it? So if you feel like a bad person because you eat pizza, could we at least feel like a good person because we ate pizza? So it's only fair that if we're going to go negative, that our mind can handle a positive. So if I'm going to say I'm bad for eating pizza, then I'm going to say I'm good for eating pizza. And really that just gives our mind a little bit of balance. And again, we don't want to fight with the mind. We don't want to fight with the ego. That's just going to give us a headache. And that doesn't really help us to get to the knowledge that we're looking for, which is in the soul, which is in the energy that's within you. So that won't get us there if we're constantly judging the fact that our ego is in control. And the fact that for most of us, our ego does run the day. What our ego says goes. I caught myself the other morning waking up, and my dog woke me up at like 5 a.m. and I was like, oh goodness, I just want to stay in bed and sleep, and I don't want to get up. And so my thoughts started going, oh, I don't want to get up, I don't want to do what I have to do, I don't want to get, I don't feel like taking a shower, all the things that come in from I don't want to get up. And when we just look at that thought and just say, okay, well, why don't I want to get up? And question it and just say, well, that thought, does that thought have to rule my day in this moment? Or can I just embrace it and say, all right, I'm up. I guess there's a reason I'm up, and it's okay. So I don't have to do the litany of woe is me that I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning because my dog got me up, and now I'm going to be exhausted all day, and all the things that come from that one experience and that one thought of I don't want to get up. So it's very similar to the pizza. You have to catch these thoughts and just kind of question yourself out of them. So the minute I did that, I could feel my soul, I could feel that energy giving room within me. The minute I just said, it's okay. It's okay to get up. It's okay that I feel tired. It's okay that I'm having these thoughts. And the minute that starts happening, I feel that soul energy around me and within me, because it matches it. So when we start matching our soul energy, we feel it very strongly. So instead of me being angry at myself, I was being accepting of myself, and instead of me setting off all these feelings within me, I started to feel more peaceful and more relaxed, and that matches the soul energy. So it's much, much easier to feel that energy and to feel that knowledge when you start matching it a little bit. That's why affirmations, if you're in the mood for affirmations and you really feel the truth of them, that can get you right into your soul energy, because they match it. They match the vibration. So our ego is not a match for the soul. Our ego, its vibration is really low, and the soul's vibration is very high. It's like when you're in your best mood. So it is really interesting to see how naturally we go into the soul energy when we're just good to ourselves, when we're loving to ourselves, when we're more accepting of ourselves in our lives. then we can feel into that energy. And then we get the, kind of like a double meaning. So we start to feel better. So I start to feel better because I stopped fighting the fact that I had to wake up. And then I started to get, information from my soul too at the same time. So that is like a double confirmation of, oh, this is the right direction to go in. And this does feel so much better. And there's nothing wrong with being mad about being woken up. It's just what it turns into really does dictate your day. So anytime you're having a series of thoughts, you have to just kind of question them and say, okay, these thoughts are coming from the world's beliefs, and these world's beliefs are extremely limiting. So whether I'm overeating and mad at myself, or something in my life is happening that I don't agree with or I don't like, the more we question it and the more we help ourselves to see there is definitely a different way to look at things that are not so painful. That's much easier. It makes it much, much easier not to take that ego voice so seriously. You can understand your ego voice. You could see where it's coming from. I completely understand, why I react the way that I do, given my life experiences. I completely understand me. And I understand myself in this world. I understand why I react the way I do based on my earlier experiences. I understand my reactions to people. I just get it and I understand it. And if I take what I think and feel to heart, then I'm going to be in some pain. If I realize the things that have happened to me and the thoughts and feelings I have associated with it are only half my story, and then I move into more of the soul energy, then I just open myself up to a completely different experience. An experience that is so much, bigger than the very narrow experience of the ego. It's like, the ego is like tunnel vision. It's like being in a tunnel, when you're, going into a city and you're going through the tunnel. It's very enclosed. The tunnel is just as wide as it is. And then once you get out of the tunnel, you're back into the city, or you're back out and you see everything. You see the sun and you see the grass and you see, you see a bigger picture. And really that's what it's like going from the ego to the soul. And you feel that within yourself. So the more you practice this, the more you will feel that within you. So it's really such a great thing to keep questioning, who's to say that I can't have pizza? Okay, medical experts say it's not good for you, the cheese isn't good for you, this isn't good for you. But do we know that to be 100% true when every single day different foods are labeled as good or bad? How do we know? How do we know really what's good for our bodies? When I meditate and go into that soul energy, what I really hear very strongly is that what you're feeding yourself and what you're believing yourself in thought has more effect on you than anything. So that's where we want to start, because when we're feeling really good, we're gonna pick foods that just kind of resonate with us, and whether that's typically healthy foods or unhealthy foods, you're just going to be in the moment and you're not going to be thinking that much, and you're just going to nourish yourself in the way that you feel. So things become a lot easier when we are more connected into that soul energy. So I would really keep just being mindful of yourself and understanding yourself and saying, you know what, there's nothing that I can think or feel that's wrong. It's just a little limited. And when I ask my soul for its perspective, for a different perspective, it's going to give me the other half. Like, well, and will challenge me in the most loving way. And that's the thing, the soul energy is never mean, and is never harsh, and is never like, oh, haven't you gotten this yet? The soul energy is just a whisper of a reminder of another way to be. And you'll just hear a whisper that you don't have to treat yourself this way, and you don't have to be in this kind of pain. And any thought that's causing you pain or any thought that's causing you stress for yourself or another person is a mistake. It's just simply a mistake. And I know a lot of spiritual, talks will say that. Will say that anything that's hurting you is just a misperception. It's just something that we thought in the wrong way or we're taking seriously. So a slice of pizza is just a slice of pizza, and or having a life experience that we deemed not great, someone else in this world deems it okay. So that always made me pause for thought when I would see somebody else handle a situation that I would, but they handled it without stress and I handled it with stress. So if one person can handle a situation without stress, then we all can. When you hear these people going through these horrendous life journeys and they come out stronger and better, and they just don't crumble in the face of adversity, then we all can. So and that's where I think that people that overcome worldly situations and worldly things, they are very connected to their soul. They have to be very connected to their soul because they're living in a much more broader, expanded version of themselves. And the more we practice letting the ego go and realizing the ego for what it is, for just kind of like a child that is perceiving the world the best that it possibly can, and you take your child by the hand and say, it's okay that you perceive it this way, but there's more to you than this, and let's go over here and visit that. Let's go into the soul energy and sit in that for a while. And that will really help you so much. Feeling the energy will help you to even challenge the thoughts, because you just have a knowing that these thoughts are kind of silly. You have a complete new thought system with the soul. So basically whatever the ego is saying to you, the soul thinks it's opposite always. So it's like opposite day, so you want to think of the soul that way. Whatever I'm thinking, the soul thinks the opposite. So if I'm thinking, and that's really just anything negative or painful. If you're thinking something good about yourself or somebody else, usually you're feeling so good, and it feels good to help people, and it feels good to be generous to people. And when you're in that, you are in the energy of your soul. So you know what that feels like. You just have to help yourself to realize you can feel that way more throughout your day. That it doesn't have to just be in certain occasions. It doesn't have to be in such limited ways. It can be always. So opening up to the soul will help you to see that that what our ego mind thinks is very young, and is perceptions from when we were very young, and also adopts the world's view. And the world's view is fine, and there's nothing wrong with some of the world's view. But if the world's view is causing you pain, maybe we want to challenge it and say, it's very possible that this doesn't have to be true. I can do what I want to do, and I can challenge things. And if I'm doing something that goes against the world's view, that maybe I should be a little bit more gentle with myself, because everybody else is doing it too. Everybody else is eating Domino's pizza, because if they weren't, then it wouldn't be in existence. So to be so hard on yourself for what you eat is not really what we want to continue to do. It just sets us up for more failure, and keeps you away from your soul energy. Anytime you're upset, or someone has triggered you in a way that is taking your peace away, you have gone back into the tunnel, and you're not seeing things very clearly. And it's okay. You just want to have that recognition. I'm in the tunnel now, and my soul's energy is nowhere to be found when I'm in this tunnel. And all I have to do is ask for some help to help me out, so I can see that bigger perspective, so that I can get the other half of the ego story, get the other side. So today, for everything that you say that is mean to yourself, I want to challenge you to just say the opposite. So if you say, oh, I look ugly today, I want you to then say, oh, I look really good today. If you look in the mirror and say, oh, I look heavy today or fat today, I want you to challenge and say, I look just perfect today. I'm the perfect size for myself today. So whatever it is that's coming into your mind that's criticizing you, putting you down, or saying that you're not enough, I want you to at least give yourself the opposite so that you can feel that, and then ask your soul to really come in with you so that you really do know the truth of that, so that when you do give the opposite, that you can feel the truth, that there's more truth in that, the good, than there is in the bad. The soul energy that is 100% love, and it's 100% abundance. And when we live in that, we just mirror an abundant, loving world. And that is it's just a beautiful place to live in. So we all want to keep striving for that, and not letting our very young ego, our ego child, get the best of us and really run our day. We don't want to do that. So give that a shot for this week. So I was looking at the exercise for this week for number 9 is also about abundance, and talks about us being a money magnet. And it's much easier to be a money magnet when we're in our soul energy, because when you're in that energy, you feel so abundant. When I'm meditating and I'm in that energy, I feel like I have more than enough. I feel like I have too much. I feel like I can give everything that I have away. You feel such abundance within you. And when you feel that, you're going to gravitate to more abundance. And that's exactly what's happened to me. My level of abundance has pretty much doubled because I feel abundant. And it's not something that I talked myself into. You can't talk yourself into feeling abundant when you don't feel it. And that's why law of attraction, a lot of times it doesn't work for people, because you can't be something you don't feel most of the time. So if you're in your ego most of the time feeling not good enough, you're not feeling abundant. You're not feeling your natural state of abundance. So that is going to not help you create anything that you want to create. So the minute you're in the soul energy and you really feel your abundance, then the world just mirrors you, and your abundance comes to you very easily, very naturally, and very quickly, to the point where you just really are not thinking about it anymore. So what Rhonda Burns says, one way to get into this good state is when you're doing your bills to just really be grateful that you have the money to pay your bills, and if you don't have the money to pay your bills, to pick 5 bills that you've paid for in the past, 5 or 10 bills that you've paid for in the past, and just put paid and thank you universe for allowing me to be able to pay off these bills. So again, it's just another way of feeling very abundant. I was so abundant that I paid off these 5 bills. I have enough money to pay my bills, so I'm grateful that I can do that. And when we're grateful and we have all that gratitude, then it just keeps coming to us. It becomes very, very easy. And it's almost like the minute you get money, you want to spend it, you want to give it to other people, because every time I spend money, I know that somebody else is benefiting from that money. And the other person that's benefiting from that money is really me, because we're all connected. So if I give you money, it's really just another way of me giving myself money. And so that's a broader way to look at our lives. So if I have to pay, say, a doctor bill, I'm really paying it to myself. First of all, I'm very grateful for the service of the doctor. And giving it to another person is like giving it to me. It's like me teaching my experience with the soul is really just teaching it to me. So it's really helping me learn and continue to learn and grow on my journey. So we're all helping each other in that way. And the soul helps us with that kind of learning, to helps us to see how connected we are. And you can feel the connection. You don't just think it, you really feel it. So when you feel at one with everybody, and I mean everybody, even people you think you don't like, when you feel that oneness, you just know, you know that everything of the world is a dream, and there's much, much more to us, and that's up to us to find and to realize and to live within, so that while we're here, we can create the most beautiful dream. It's all within our ability to do so. So whatever dream you want to create, you can create. So if you're creating a fearful dream right now, or a very critical dream of yourself and other people, when you ask the soul for help, your soul will help guide you out of that, and will help you to see that you are so much more than that, and that you could be living your days from the soul's perspective, which is nothing but abundance, nothing but love, and nothing but whatever is happening to you in your life is perfect, and you're perfect, and there's nothing for you to think badly about yourself. There's nothing that you could do wrong. There isn't enough pizza in the world that you could eat that's going to make you a bad person. The soul is extremely, extremely unconditionally loving, and the soul is who you are. So you're really just shining your own love onto you, and then onto other people. So it's a beautiful thing. So do that exercise today with your bills, and when you do your bills, just be so grateful that you have the money, and think about the people that are benefiting from your money. Every time you give money to somebody, it's like giving it to yourself, and feel that gratitude.
I'm not sure I understand.
Feel that gratitude that you have.
I'm not sure I understand.
That's my phone, sorry. It's just going off for some strange reason. So practice that today, and really practice seeing and understanding where your mind goes. Your mind, like that little computer, is just going to go into the past or go into the future. And if it comes up with something negative, give the other half, give its opposite. And as you're giving its opposite, ask the soul, sit for a moment in that energy. Just go within, just for a moment, and ask your soul, help me to feel the truth of this opposite. So if I don't feel good enough, I am good enough. And just ask the soul to help you feel the truth of that. And ask for those words to come alive, because they will. When you say something loving to yourself or something kind to yourself, and you're in the soul energy, you feel it. You feel its truth. So those words come alive in a very, very magical way. So give yourself a chance to experience that, instead of just experiencing the negativity of the ego mind. Give yourself a chance to come out of, the tunnel, and let yourself have that experience. And you will not regret it. I promise you. So, as always, if you have any questions, any topics that you would like to discuss, or like me to discuss from the soul's point of view, please feel free to email me at janicesmart.com, janicesmart40@yahoo.com. And I would love to answer any questions that you have, or any topics that you would like to hear about. Have a beautiful, abundant, expansive day out of your ego mind, and stick with your soul today, and really challenge any thoughts that want to take that away. Okay, have a beautiful day, and we will talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye.